Welcome back inside the Now Morning Show as we continue our conversations, making sure that you're as safe as you possibly can be, especially during this carnival season. We welcome back Inspector Michelle Lewis. Good morning to you, Inspector.
Good morning to you, sir. Good morning, ma'am, and good morning, Trinidad and Tobago.
Sir and ma'am.
We reach where we're going.
Reach where we're going.
Got some wrong there, what you do?
Aye, aye, aye.
Blue and khaki.
Yeah.
Hey.
So, Inspector, we're talking safety tips again this morning?
Yes, we are in the carnival season, just about 3 weeks away. Well,
You're not counting on this? You wasn't counting on this?
The month of January
it's actually the 3rd and 4th of March.
The 3rd and 4th of
Yes.
March.
We have a long season this year.
Yes, we do.
So this is the last week in January, and so the TTPS continue to give some safety tips in the midst of the
Revelry.
state of emergency.
That too.
Well, yes.
Well, the revelry and the state of emergency happen at the same time.
Combined.
Yeah, so it's important that persons still maintain a level of soberness because activities are still taking place around throughout the country, and we want person to be very mindful of that. Still.
Soberness, yes, sir.
Yes. It's not
Go
as
ahead.
bad as you think, you know.
Go
We do
ahead,
have
go
some. We do.
I
In the
believe
midst
you.
of it, yes.
I
so.
believe you.
And so even during the carnival season, as we enjoy the revelry and all that goes with the carnival in Trinidad and Tobago, to make it one of the major events in the world that so many people from across the world want to attend. And so we continue to ensure that the safety is up there to ensure that we get those persons coming in, both locals and foreigners, to enjoy the season.
And I love that you mentioned that because I have to ask about that aspect of things in terms of tourists coming into the country. How does the SOE affect them?
Because there is no curfew, and it is not that rigid because it is not targeted to persons who are law-abiding. There is no real impact on persons who have already purchased a ticket because really and truly, persons who come in for carnival, real carnival stalwarts or babies, they don't buy the tickets
Since last
year.
Yeah.
and the costume and all of that and put away the money. So it is not affecting that market whatsoever. Tourists will still be coming in, leaving the cold, coming to the warmth of the Caribbean, coming to Trinidad and enjoying that good, happy vibes in Trinidad and Tobago. So as even whether you are living here or you come in to stay for an extended period of time, not just for a weekend, one of the things that we want you to pay particular attention to is your home safety and ensuring that your home has good locks, good doors, and of course, good neighbors. Right? Ensure that you have secure doors. Now, one of the things that we have recognized in Trinidad and Tobago through home invasions, burglaries, and that kind of thing is a lot of times criminals use the door at the side, the door that is not the front door that persons will easily see. So, and sometimes persons pay attention to securing their front door, having a nice fancy door that looks well secure, but your other two doors or your other door to the side is not so secure.
Right.
We encourage you this morning to ensure that all your doors are well secured and that and the locks as well that you use on those locks are very good locks.
So during the carnival season, do you see an uptick in home invasions particularly?
Yes, we see an uptick in a lot of offences. Larceny, motor vehicle, home invasions, and larceny from the person or robbery. We would see some of those.
It's interesting that you specifically say home invasions. I mean, I guess, yes, with the increase of people being outside, going to fets, that sort of thing. I know when it comes to particularly cars and car break-ins, we do see many people reporting that.
Yes.
Unfortunately, we also see some foreigners reporting that they are victims of crime when they are here. So what would you say are your tips for those who are coming down to visit the carnival?
And so persons who are living in Trinidad or visiting, and because we have persons who travel a lot, spend a couple months in, a couple months out. So that for one, we want you to be very particular attention to securing the place that you are, checking the type of vehicles that you utilize to go with. So if, for example, you're going out with friends, make sure it's a person that you're familiar with. If you're using higher transport through some kind of...
A taxi service of some sort.
Yeah, some kind of taxi service, ensure that you know that this is the taxi that you call. So, for example, you wouldn't say, did you come for Lauren? You'll probably say...
Who you come for?
Yeah, or you check the information that you received through the app with the person that is in front of you, the vehicle that is in front, to make sure that you're entering the correct vehicle, right? Ensure, of course, that if you are driving the vehicle, that if you are going out with a vehicle with other persons, that you have a designated driver. One of the things we also want to tell tourists this morning is not to walk with excess cash, excess jewelry and that kind of thing. That will make yourself an easy target. So we know that a lot of places, a lot of events, when you go to it, already purchase a lot of things already. If it's an all-inclusive or semi-inclusive or whatever, you already have some things already paid for. So you can walk with limited cash as well as a card, a debit card that you can use if you want to purchase anything else. But we also want to encourage you to always have some level of cash on you, because if you need to travel, that's really important that you have some TT
Vex
dollars.
money.
TT, yeah,
Vex
correct,
money,
right.
yeah, because you might go out with somebody and they may not like how the lime is going, you may not like, the relationship that is taking place, and they want to leave, you want to be free to do so. If a fight break out and they're not a part of it, you want to leave, because these things happen when persons, drink and emotions get, all there. One of the things also that the TTPS want to share this morning is that as Carnival comes closer, we know that they are going to have restrictions in areas, particularly in Port of Spain, where the bands are passing the route for Carnival.
Right.
And so from even today, the TTPS is informing the public that for persons who are living in those restricted areas, that you can start to apply for your permit, authorized permit, to enter those areas. So if you're living like in the Woodbrook area, in the Port of Spain area, and the other environs where there will be restrictions, so the barriers are there and you're unable to access your home, the way that you can do it is by having a sticker provided by the TTPS, which is free to you, but we need for you to apply for it. So on our Facebook page, if you go onto our Facebook page, you will see all the information there, what is required. We will require a utility bill that says your proof of address, of course, a valid driver's permit, and any other authorized persons who will be driving the vehicle to enter. The certificate of insurance, naturally, if a vehicle is older than 5 years, the certification for that as well.
A certified copy of the vehicle registration.
Yes, to show that ownership of the vehicle.
Right.
Okay.
And a valid test inspection certificate for vehicles older than 5 years.
Yes.
So here's my question about this, right? What if, lots of places in Woodbrook go up on Airbnb, or they go up for rent as well during that Carnival period. So if it is that I am renting my place to a tourist or whatever the case may be, and they're renting a vehicle to spend the Carnival, how does this permit situation work out for them, or does it just not apply to them? They can't get through.
No, so the owner of the place, if they have a registered Airbnb,
Right.
then they do the same process, because we would have companies and organizations that will be applying for on behalf of. So it's not just to residents, it's to any organization or person. For example, the bands, the trucks, they would also be applying for the same to enter those places.
Right.
Some of them have ambulances that go with them and all. So all those persons, they are categories of persons. So they should be able to get through with the permit to be able to access.
But even with a rental vehicle, so they can't show the insurance or they can't show the certified copy until they get here and they get into the country. How fast is that process for getting the permit?
The permit is 2 days. So if you apply online, so this year we are going both online and in person. For the online process, you'll get the link either on our website or on our Facebook sometime today, during the course of today, you can see that, as well as in person at 5th floor Riverside Plaza in Port of Spain, as well as Woodbrook facility in Woodbrook. So there are 2 places where you can do it in person. But just to come back to the point that you were asking in relation to persons who are tourists, it will have to be the owner of the Airbnb who is actually making the application. And of course, with proof of the person that they are a traveler and whatever else. So if the person is renting a vehicle and stuff like that.
Right, so the rental of the vehicle part is what I'm more concerned about. So the inspection, the certified copy, the insurance, all that stuff would have to also be applied, or is that going to be waived if it's a tourist renting a vehicle?
Well, I don't want to say yea or nay, because if a company is renting a vehicle, all those things are supposed to be there in the vehicle, right? It's supposed to have insurance, it's supposed to be...
the certified copy?
No, well, no, really, a certified copy should be in a vehicle. A copy of a certified copy, it belongs in the vehicle.
In a rental?
It belongs by law in the vehicle. Persons just don't do it, but it belongs in the vehicle together with the insurance, right? So the documents are not far-fetched. But however, there is a cut-off date. We know. And so you must produce the relevant documents, right? But there's a cut-off period of the 17th of February. So that if the tourist comes in after that, then there would be some challenges. But it can be through the owner of the place, and they can always contact the number. There's some contact numbers there for persons who have, further questions that the application doesn't provide.
So, Inspector, another thing also, and specifically, we're looking at this notice, and it says invites individuals who reside and work in the city of Port of Spain and wish to access their homes and workplaces on Carnival Monday and Tuesday. Where can we get, let's say, a grid of what areas are applicable? I ask this because there are certain places, like even I have gone and stayed like in town during the carnival season, and I haven't needed a pass, and bands have been passing like literally on the road.
And you what?
I said I've stayed in places in town where I've been driving.
Right.
I've come in out in within the carnival hours and no pass, and bands have been passing on the road itself right next to me. So where do we get a grid of what areas this falls under?
So NCC will usually be the organization that will send out the grid together, so they would know. Actually, there are continuous stakeholder meetings.
Okay.
I don't think it will change much from last year, really. So if anybody has an access of last year, but I don't think it will change much. But that information should be forthcoming anytime soon as to what is the 2025 route for Carnival.
What happens if I don't have a permit or a pass?
And you live there?
Well, this is why the TTPS is sharing this information now. Now, persons who actually live there would have been affected last year, because unless you're a new resident to the area, you would have been affected by it last year. And so this is nothing new. This is something that TTPS always does. Well, the only thing that we're adding this year is the fact that it is online. Okay? So if you apply online, you get it in 2 days. You come in person, well, of course, But it's a process. It's an addition now that the TTPS has gone online, so persons don't have that long line that usually happens outside Riverside Plaza.
But you still didn't answer my question, Inspector.
Say again?
What does happen if I don't have the permit?
And you live in the area?
Or trying to get in the area? I drive into the area and I don't have a permit.
So in the first instance, we provide you and we give you an opportunity for quite a period of time for you to get the permit. If for whatever reason you were unable to, your driver's permit should show your proof of address. You're supposed to have your driver's permit that says that you're living in this area. And usually officers will open the barrier and allow you to pass the permit.
Okay.
So it's just that I can't access past the barrier if I don't have the permit?
Yeah, you will have to now justify by the officer, by the barrier, that you're actually living inside there.
Okay.
Does the officer have the right to deny entry even if you show proof of address?
They usually don't.
Okay.
To be honest.
But what she's saying is yes, they have the right
They
to,
do have
they
the right.
just usually don't.
Yeah, but they usually don't, because I have, worked out there, and once you see the driver's permit and you see the person, you give them an opportunity to pass, because, I mean, the intent is really to prevent that free flow or that access flow of vehicles in an area that is really not for public passing.
And also, I'm seeing here, police carnival permits are issued free of charge.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, so once anybody trying to charge you anything, know that that is not the case.
Yes, so there are 2 places.
Can you remind us of the deadline in the places?
The 17th of February for applications. Like I said, you can get it online through the Facebook page. There will be the link sometime today, as well as on our website. And the 2 places are the Assistant Commissioner of Police Specialized Support, 5th floor Riverside Plaza in Port of Spain. That's Besson Street there, that tall building there, as well as Woodbrook facility in Woodbrook, so that if persons don't want to go all the way up and then you're living on this end of Port of Spain, you can certainly access it there.
Quick question, Inspector, before we wrap.
Between 9 to 4,
does it also apply to San Fernando and Shogunas?
No, this is strictly for Port of Spain.
But are there restrictions in those areas in terms of where you can and can't drive?
There will be restrictions throughout Trinidad and Tobago, but we know Port of Spain in itself is like the Mecca of Carnival and the parades and all those kind of things. So because of that, now, there are more. But if it's Tunapuna, it's Shoguana, it's San Fernando, the police within those areas will treat it accordingly. So Northern, Southern Division, the senior sub there, and such like that.
You say the Port of Spain is the Mecca there and the South Hill, and she jump out.
I don't know.
Just thought it's like eyebrow. It's like
I don't know where the Queen's Park Savannah located. I don't know, but I think.
Ladies and gentlemen, we thank Inspector Michelle for joining us this morning on the Now Morning Show. And I hope you got the information that you need to make sure you apply for your permits or just be safe during the carnival season. Thank you so much, Inspector.
Most welcome.
Enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you.
Let's take a quick break and we come back with your birthday celebrations on the Now Morning Show. Stay tuned.
One couldn't walk alone, tongue was like a battle zone, but now